What if I told you that you could keep getting stronger, faster, and more resilient long after your 45th birthday? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, how to build your personal blueprint for a lifetime of peak performance.
So, does this sound familiar? You're putting in the work, but the old playbook, it just doesn't seem to cut it anymore. That strategy of just grinding harder or hoping a few days off will fix things, it stops working. And instead, you're just left with these nagging aches. You hit frustrating plateaus, and you get that feeling that your body just isn't bouncing back the way it used to. You are definitely not alone.
I'm Dr. Fernando Assunção, and I really live in both of these worlds. See, as a physician and a nephrologist, I'm deep in the science of health and longevity. But as a triathlete, I live for the challenge of performance. My entire focus is on bridging that gap, especially for us in the 45-plus club. And let me be clear, this is not about slowing down. It's about getting so much smarter with our training.
Okay, let's get right into it. The single biggest mistake I see athletes make as they get older isn't a lack of effort. Far from it. It's about where they're putting that effort. This is what I call the intensity trap. It's this pendulum swing between two extremes, and honestly, both of them lead to the same dead end.
So on one side, you have the always hard athlete. You might know one, or you might be one. This is the person who believes every single workout has to be a grind. This is just a fast track to burnout, chronically high stress hormones, and those nagging injuries that never seem to fully heal. Then on the other side, you have the only easy athlete. They're so worried about getting hurt that they stick to long, slow distances. And while it feels safer, it does absolutely nothing to prevent that age-related decline in muscle mass and power. Your performance just goes flat.
So what's the answer? Well, the secret isn't choosing a side. It's about finding a very precise, very strategic balance. The solution is something called the 80-20 longevity blueprint, which you might know as polarized training. This right here is the real foundation for building high performance that actually lasts.
And here's exactly how it works. A full 80% of your training time is spent at a low intensity, building a massive aerobic base. Now, what's happening inside your body is you're actually building mitochondrial density. You're literally creating more little energy factories inside your cells. Then, only 20% of your time is spent on that truly hard, high-intensity work. That's what builds speed and power. You see the magic here? You build a huge endurance engine without constantly tearing your body down.
But, and this is the most important part, where almost everyone gets it wrong, easy has to be truly easy. Here's the simplest test in the world. Can you hold a conversation in full sentences while you're doing it? If you're gasping for air, you're going too hard. You're not in the easy zone. This low-stress effort is where your body makes incredible adaptations, all without the high recovery cost.
You know, what's so fascinating is that this isn't some new training fad. It's actually deeply rooted in our own evolutionary biology. I mean, just think about our Paleolithic ancestors. They spent long periods of time walking, tracking, gathering, all slow movement. And that was punctuated by very short, intense, all-out bursts during a hunt. They were basically living the 80-20 model thousands of years before we ever gave it a name.
Okay, so a smart cardio plan is a huge piece of the puzzle, but it's only one piece. To build a truly resilient body that can handle that training, we have to directly fight back against the other physiological changes that start to accelerate after we hit 45. And that brings us to what I call the 3 non-negotiable pillars of longevity.
So why do I call them non-negotiables? Well, let me throw a number at you. Research shows that after age 50, you can lose up to 8% of your muscle mass, not in your lifetime, every single decade if you're not actively doing something about it. That is a staggering loss of strength, of metabolic health, and your body's overall armor.
So, here they are. This is your defense system against that decline. Pillar number 1 is consistent strength training, and I'm talking about basic compound movements to preserve that precious muscle and bone density. And then you have pillars 2 and 3, which are mobility and flexibility. They're often confused, but they are both absolutely critical.
Let's just quickly clarify the difference because a lot of people mix these two up. Flexibility, that's your muscle's ability to lengthen passively. Think about grabbing your foot and pulling your heel towards your glute for a quad stretch. But mobility, that's your joint's ability to actively move through its full range of motion. Think of a deep, controlled squat. You need both for healthy, pain-free movement, and you have to train them specifically.
All right, we've covered how to train. We've covered the physical pillars you need to support that training. The final piece of this puzzle isn't a workout. It's a radical shift in your mindset. It's about moving from a wait-and-see approach to an address-it-now approach when it comes to recovery.
And this really says it all. I mean, think back to when you were 25. You could kind of ignore a small ache or a little niggle, and it would probably just go away on its own, right? We had this amazing ability to heal. But after 45, that same wait-and-see approach is a dangerous gamble. That tiny little issue can quickly spiral into a chronic problem that can sideline you for months.
So from this day forward, this is your new rule. It's non-negotiable. Step 1 is to just acknowledge. The moment you feel something that isn't just normal muscle soreness, you have to stop ignoring it. Step 2 is to consult. Immediately reach out to a professional you trust. And step 3 is to address it. You deal with it right now, not next week. This simple process is how you stop small issues from becoming major roadblocks.
So who is this team I'm talking about? Well, at a minimum, I believe every serious athlete over 45 needs these 3 people in their corner. A physician you really trust, a physical therapist who actually understands your sport, and a good massage therapist for all that soft tissue work. Seriously, think of it this way. Having these people on speed dial is one of the smartest investments you will ever make in your athletic future.
So if you only take one thing away from our time together, please let it be this. Training after 45 is not about managing some inevitable decline. It's about embracing precision. It's that moment in our lives when we finally get to shift from using brute force to using intelligent strategy. It's about working smarter, not just harder.
Look, if this resonates with you and you're ready to make the next 20 years your strongest yet, make sure you subscribe for more strategies on performance and longevity. And please, do me a favor and share this with another athlete in your life who also refuses to slow down.
I want to leave you with this thought. Your best years of performance and health are absolutely not behind you. So my question for you is this. Based on everything we've talked about, what is the one small, precise change you will commit to making in your training this week?